Why do you not think this will work? We've seen it yield results in other countries. It's a great way to deal with inequality and to reduce poverty. What would it do differently in South Africa that it didn't do in places like Brazil, for example?
It's not that business is opposed to the basic income grant. It simply says the country can afford it. So BUSA represents not most, all of organized business, all the organizations. So it's an apex organization of all organizations. And we have canvassed our members who have spoken about this. In fact, yesterday at 1500 hours, we had a meeting with the president of the country. Number one, leadership, it's not about being popular, Tatubingwa. It's not even about doing things right. It's about doing the right things. Basic income grant will not be the right thing now. You know, we were hit by the pandemic. This country could not afford even getting onto the COVAX program. Business had to bail the government out not once but twice. That's why we're in the COVAX program. To give these grants, including the 500 billion economic stimulus, government didn't have money. What it did is reprioritized from other departments. So now you're taking money from children, from hospitals, from education to be able to fend off the pandemic. And yet we know that 2/3 of that money was actually stolen. Bongani, when you steal money, especially if you are a government, eventually it gets finished. There are some people that think because government get taxes every year, the money will never run out. But also, you can only do basic income grant like other countries in Brazil when you are growing. So the statistician general told us that we should celebrate because Q2 results said we have grown by 1.2% GDP growth. We take it as good news. But you see, as business, if we stop there, we'll be derelicting our duties. Number one, the population growth is 1.6%, which means we are going backwards. But even if you do simple, crude arithmetic, if interest rates are 6%, CPI is 3%, it stands for reason that, therefore, GDP growth must be 3% if you are going to stand still. But also, it's a jobless growth. We have lost 1 million jobs, Bongani. That's where we should be concentrating on and focusing on. Our problem is stubbornly high levels of unemployment. We are not even making hay while the sun shines. We have this commodity super cycle. We're not even stashing anything away. It comes in and then we spend it. But also remember, both the 2 weeks in July and the Transnet cyber attack are going to reverse these 1.2 positive GDP growth because they happened in July. But also, the growth is coming from the wrong sector in this big group that we choose to call now financial services as a major contributor. Not in mining that used to employ 980,000, now is down to 400,000. Not in agriculture manufacture. Not even in tourism and hospitality where we absorb women in great numbers. Not even ICT. Here's the last one, Bongan. Remember that we are still experiencing load shedding in June, July, and August. So when the Q3 results come out, each time the lights go off, we lose 1 billion to 2 billion rands a day, which means we are wiping off an entire percentage point. The new Minister of Finance, Godongwana, says we'll only recover from the 2 weeks in July of rampant looting in 2023. But also we'll wipe off another percentage point from the GDP. We've just cut our nose to spite our face. So where is this money going to come from, Bongani?
Current events, developing stories,
tough questions.
Your voice making a difference.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.